What's going on? What's going on? Yes, today we're going to talk about entitlement. Now, before we do, first off, if you're new here, my name is Derek Jackson, and I help people become the best versions of themselves, starting with the relationship they have with themselves so that it spills over into other relationships. But enough on that. Let's go ahead and get into this topic. Let's do a quick mic check, actually. Let me know where you're tuning in from. City and state, or just the city or whatever, so that I know that you guys can hear and see me okay. I'm looking in the comments right now. Or you can just press the like button. Press the like button and I'll see the reactions, then I'll know that we're good to go. All right, I see them. Let's do this. So I got a question from a young lady, and it basically echoed the same sentiments I've heard over and over again. Why is it that men are so inconsistent? Type I down in the chat if you've ever dealt with a man that was inconsistent. Type I down in the chat right now. I want to see if I'm talking to anybody today, because this is my perspective on it. I don't believe most men actually struggle with inconsistency as a root issue. I don't, because if you look at most men, they're consistent with something. They're consistent with video games. They're consistent with going to work or, getting to the bag. They're consistent with lies. They're consistent with something. It's a good thing they could be consistent too. They may be consistent in their children's lives, but most men are consistent. But whenever you're in a relationship and he's inconsistent with you, the real issue, I think, is entitlement. That's what happened, because whenever you're not entitled, you feel like, you know what, I got to show up. I got to continue working. If I want to continue getting this paycheck, I got to show up to work every day. If I want to continue getting a high score on this video game with my homeboys and all these other stay-at-home sons that's in my circle, I got to continue showing up, putting on this headset and working on this video game or whatever they got going on. But whenever you start to feel entitled, you feel like you owe this. It's supposed to happen. So all of those things, this is what it looks like whenever a man is entitled. All of those things that you used to do, and he used to express appreciation. Maybe he used to get you random flowers, maybe even a thank you card, take you out on a nicer date, surprise you with some lingerie on the bed when you least expect it or whatever. That stops. The reciprocity stops. Just checking on you randomly, not looking for anything in return right then and there, but just to say, hey, I want to know that you're good. I'm good if you're good. How are you doing? Stops. The check-ins at night, and let me know when you get home. All of that stops. Type I down in the chat if you've ever dealt with entitlement that looked like any of this. Let you even have a bad day, a bad week, where you stop doing the things that he was taking for granted and not showing appreciation for, and that's whenever he becomes vocal. He been mute this whole time in terms of showing appreciation, in terms of saying thank you, in terms of acknowledging the work and the sacrifice and all of that. But let you have a sick week, or, you just dare get burnt out from doing all these things for somebody who truly don't appreciate it. And now he gets vocal. Now it becomes a character flaw of yours. That's what entitlement looks like. I see eyes down in the chat now. But the worst part is whenever it regresses to a point where not only does the appreciation stop, but so does the respect. The respect stops. Now he starts treating you like he's doing you a favor by being with you. Now it's not just entitlement to what you do good. You can't do no right. You can't do no right. You feel like you're in competition. You may have been with him, knowing that you could do better in the very beginning, but feeling like, I'll give him a chance. Maybe there's something good in him, or you already see something good in him. But after a while, he started treating you like you the downgrade. Like he doing you a favor. That's when the respect stops. Why? Because if you're going to continue being a giver to somebody that's clearly only there to take from you, and you get nothing in return, maybe you don't respect yourself. Maybe there's not a lot of value to that love that you have to give. At least that's what's going on in his head. I'm not here dignifying that. I'm just letting you know what's going on in his head. Now, I understand when I talk like this, whether it be in these live chats, whether it be in my books or whatever, some people get the impression that all guys are like this. Let me just say this emphatically, that is not true. That is 100% not true. No man is perfect, but all men ain't trash. All men ain't just completely entitled. But that's what makes it even more disappointing whenever I see women who are struggling and staying with somebody who's showing no signs of going uphill, of progressing out of these hurtful behaviors and patterns, show no signs of remorse or accountability for the things that they're doing, when there are men who are not entitled, where there are men who have evolved past the point where they have to lose a woman, lose her love, lose her presence in order to appreciate her. Because for every entitled dude out there, there is an evolved man again that doesn't have to be begged to do the bare minimum. That doesn't have to be lectured. That doesn't have to see tears falling down your face before he says, oh, you know what, let me go ahead and tighten up. Just for him to go back to the same old same. For every entitled man that you staying stuck on, there's an evolved man that's been praying for you, that wants to pray with you, not just pray on your insecurities. For real, straight up. For every entitled dude out there, there's an evolved man that wants to bring the best out of you, not the stress out of you. Keep you stressed, keep you paranoid, mess up your sleep, barely can eat right. Weight going up and down because your mind is constantly frazzled. You're dysregulated emotionally, mentally. That's what gets to me about seeing y'all continue. And I get it, y'all keep human. I'm not here to shame you. I'm just here to keep it real with you. And one other thing I want to keep it real with is a lot of times whenever I mention these evolved men, good men, a lot of y'all think they ain't got no requirements and standards of their own. That couldn't be further from the truth either, because evolved men do require something. And that's that you have the full capacity to both love and receive love, especially the reception. To both love and receive love. And you can't do that if you stuck on the entitled dude. If you stuck trying to figure it out. If you stuck trying to force yourself to see something other than the reality. Because you're just so bent on what their potential once was, according to your memory, because it ain't what you got here in your presence, in present day. They require you to have the full capacity to both love and receive love. And matter of fact, that will make an evolved man crave you. That will magnetize. A lot of y'all got evolved men, really solid dudes in your friend of friends circle. They already in your DMs. They in your church. They in the gym that you work out with. They all around, but they don't see the characteristics that are required for an evolved man to crave you. One of them being the full capacity to both love and receive love. And there's a way that shows, even from the first impression, strategically at the right time, of course, but there's a way that's supposed to show in order to register to an evolved man, which will magnetize him into your life that much quicker. Now, I'm not going to get too far off subject with that, because I went in detail on my free masterclass, The Secrets to Making an Evolved Man Crave You. Look, if you ain't got access to that yet, do not miss out. Registration closes soon and is absolutely free. Click the link. I see it already in the comments right now. Click the link. Get access to that free masterclass I did where I break that down and the other things that will make an evolved man crave you. But the moral of the story is this. For anybody out there currently dealing with an entitled man, you have to understand what you're also tolerating and what you're also at this point enabling is being taken for granted. And when somebody takes for granted your love, your time, your presence, it's time to gift them with one more thing, and that's your absence. But those are just my thoughts. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Again, get access to my free masterclass, man. I drop nothing but gems in it. Secrets to Making an Evolved Man Crave You. The link is here in the comments. It's also in the caption.